All right, cool. Let's get started. Nirvan?
Yep. Hey guys. Welcome to our Russian community AMA. Today with us we have Ari, Michael, and Victor. And Victor is going to be our translator for today.
Cool. Would you like to add Michael to the stage as well?
Oh, he's up here.
Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for showing up. It's great to have you here. I wanted to have a preliminary comment first. We want to state that we started this company specifically to give freedom to players through true ownership. And the events of last week, we think, are very unfortunate and a challenge to these very notions. Because of the recently passed European Union sanctions, which we can share with you in the Discord channel, our vendor Circle has forced us to preemptively block all the accounts belonging to Russian players. We were ordered to implement the changes immediately and without the ability to give people a heads up. But we've been working on finding a solution approved ASAP, and that finally happened last night. So effective very soon, we're going to be able to reinstate all Russian accounts. We're going to have to implement some thresholds, some limits, but they're not going to affect your ability to make full use of the game and the platform. And we've heard you loud and clear and organized this AMA with the Russian community so that we could answer all of your questions and hear your concerns. And that's why we invited Vic, our director of analytics. Victor is Russian himself, and he will be helping us translate. So the way we're going to go about this AMA, first we have a list of questions that our moderators have collected in advance, and this represent some of the main questions and concerns that we've heard over the past couple of days, and we're going to address those first, and towards the end we can open the mic to receive a few more questions.
Всем привет, спасибо, что вы присоединились на AMA. В качестве предварительного комментария я хотел бы заявить, что мы основали эту компанию, чтобы дать свободу игрокам через истинное владение, и события прошлой недели очень прискорбны и бросают вызов самим этим понятиям. Из-за недавно принятого постановления ESA Европейского Союза о санкциях, наш вендор Circle вынудил нас превентивно заблокировать все аккаунты русских людей. Нам было приказано немедленно внести изменения, не имея возможности предупредить людей. Мы работали над поиском решения, одобренного как можно скорее, что наконец произошло вчера. Вступить в силу в ближайшее время мы собираемся восстановить все русские аккаунты. Нам придется ввести некоторые проговые значения, но они не повлияют на вашу способность в полной мере использовать игру и рынок. Мы услышали вас громко и ясно и организовали это AMA с русским сообществом, чтобы мы могли ответить на все ваши вопросы и услышать ваши опасения. Мы пригласили нашего директора по аналитике Виктора, который сам я русский человек, и я буду здесь переводить. Наши модераторы заранее собрали несколько вопросов из Дискорда и Телеграма, и мы собираемся ответить на них в первую очередь. А ближе к концу мы можем открыть микрофон для еще нескольких вопросов.
Cool. Thank you, Vic. So we're going to begin with the questions. Nirvan, would you like to begin?
Sure. So, sorry. On April 19th, the game will actually be launching for Gold Pass holders. And so some people have asked if there will be an opportunity to launch the game for the Russian community for where like the people who actually purchased the Gold Pass. And the answer to that is yes, the game will be available to all users who hold a Gold Pass, including those in Russia. And as we explained shortly, we have an agreement with our vendor Circle to actually reinstate all these Russian accounts fairly soon.
Первый вопрос. 12 апреля игра будет запущена для владельцев Gold Pass. Будет ли возможность запустить игру для русского сообщества, у которого был приобретен Gold Pass? Ответ на это да. Игра будет доступна всем пользователям, имеющим Gold Pass, в том числе и в России. Как мы вскоре объясним, мы пришли к соглашению с нашим вендором Circle, и мы скоро все восстановим, все аккаунты русских людей.
Right, thank you, guys. Question number 2 says, why were accounts with less than 10,000 euros blocked? On the document that you referred to, meaning the European Commission sanctions document, blocking is only required for accounts that have 10,000 euros or more. So what happened is that our vendor circle forced us to block all accounts preemptively as a way to mitigate the potential violations of these recently imposed European Union sanctions. So this was the case because they did not have enough visibility into our records. And once we were able to show them details, we agreed on a plan to first impose certain light limits on Russian accounts. These limits are, as the document said, 10,000 euros transacted per day and up to 100,000 euro balances. We think that this is unfortunate because we were asked to block these accounts preemptively and without the ability to give users a heads up, but relatively we're happy with the solution because in retrospect, it will not have applied to any of our Russian users. So moving forward, we don't foresee much of a limitation for Russian users and are happy that we're going to be able to welcome them into the game and the platform.
Второй вопрос. Почему заблокированы счета с суммой менее 10 тысяч евро? В документах, на которые вы ссылаетесь, блокировка возможна только в том случае, если у вас на кошельке не менее 10 тысяч евро. Ответ такой, что наш vendor Circle вынудил нас превентивно заблокировать все аккаунты русские, чтобы смягчить потенциальные нарушения недавно введенных санкций Европейского Союза. Это было так, потому что у них не было доступа к нашим записям. Как только мы смогли показать им детали, мы договорились о плане введения определенных ограничений на русские счета. Эти лимиты составляют 10 тысяч долларов транзакций в день и баланс до 100 тысяч долларов. К сожалению, нас попросили заблокировать аккаунты превентивно и без возможности предупредить пользователей. Но мы относительно довольны этим решением, поскольку, оглядываясь назад, они не применились бы ни к одному из наших пользователей. Двигаясь вперед, мы не предвидим особых ограничений для русских аккаунтов.
Right, thank you guys. And there was a follow-up question to this asking, so many of the funds or maybe of the assets in the account were in the form of NFTs, and sometimes there were even no funds in balance. So why were they blocked? So back to what I have just explained, we were asked to preemptively freeze all the accounts. And once we were able to demonstrate that no account is breaching these thresholds, we're now going to begin the process to get them back to normal.
Вопрос третий. Многие средства были в форме NFT. На балансе не было никаких валют, долларов, евро. По каким причинам они также были заблокированы? Как вы только что объяснили, мы были вынуждены превентивно все заблокировать.
Cool. The next question is about our ability as users to take the assets outside of the platform. Is that going to happen, and when can we expect that? So we have already enabled the ability for people to withdraw their funds using USDC withdrawals as well as wire transfers. And we are currently working on enabling NFT withdrawals as well, but we don't yet have a date. We're going to announce this once we have more clarity.
Вопрос четвертый. Сможем ли мы принести наши NFT в OpenSea? Если да, то когда это возможно сделать? Ответ такой. Мы уже позволили людям выводить свои средства с помощью USDC и банковских переводов. Мы также работаем над тем, чтобы решить вывод средств NFT, но пока не определилось, когда. Мы объявим об этом, как только у нас будет больше ясности.
Thank you, Vic. And the next question says, will it be possible to participate in the game or the marketplace while keeping your funds in your personal or self-hosted wallet, for example, MetaMask? So our system was designed from the beginning so that we could potentially add the ability for players to bring their self-hosted wallets into the system, but we don't currently support that, and we have it planned, but don't know when exactly that's going to happen. We have prioritized the current user experience where people can come in without a wallet because we wanted to make the game and the marketplace as accessible as possible for the majority of players, most of which don't know what a wallet is. So implementing self-hosted wallet is a pretty complex feature, and we're completely committed to it, but we know it's going to take a little while to get there.
Следующий вопрос. Можно ли будет сохранить ваши средства на вашем личном кошельке, например, MetaMask? Ответ такой, что наша система была разработана таким образом, чтобы мы потенциально могли интегрировать систему на всякие кошельки. Но в настоящее время это не поддерживается. И мы не знаем, планируем ли это в ближайшее время. Для нас это очень сложная функция для реализации, и нам потребуется много времени, чтобы добраться туда.
Thanks, Vic. So next question is about how long it's going to take to unblock all the accounts. So given that we received approval for the plan on how to reinstate the accounts last night, we have since then started working on implementing this solution. The solution is basically for the accounts to go back to normal, except they have limits according to the sanctions, which are 10,000 euros can be transacted per day and a total of 100,000 euros. So our developers are working against the clock to implement these limits, and we should be in a position to reinstate all the accounts very soon. Meanwhile, this delay, if any, will not be in detriment of players' ability to get into the game.
Следующий вопрос. Сколько времени может потребоваться, чтобы разблокировать все русские аккаунты? Наши разработчики работают круглосуточно, чтобы ввести эти ограничения. Мы должны быть в состоянии восстановить все учетные записи очень скоро. Но там, как вы раньше сказали, там будут лимиты по санкциям, то есть за каждую транзакцию только 10 тысяч и не больше 100 тысяч долларов в целом аккаунте в одно время.
So the next question was, will there be any compensation from your side to the players of the Russian community due to these sanctions? And so for that, we have all the members who showed up to the AMA today and suffered from the sanctions will receive a free Ruby Pass. So right now, Mike has posted a form to fill out. It's pinned, and I'm going to resend that form. If you are a Russian user who was affected by the sanctions and you fill out this form, you will be receiving a free Ruby Pass. So make sure to fill that form out. It's in the Telegram as well. Now, I think that's the end of all the questions that we saw being asked, and all the moderators kind of compiled those questions. So we'll be inviting some people up to speak. As a reminder, this is a Russian-focused AMA for the Russian community. So we'll be focusing on answering questions from the Russian community side, not really other off-topic questions. So you guys can start requesting to speak. The first person here is Yami.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Should I address it in a Russian language or in English? So
whatever you
so
prefer, we can translate it for everyone else if you do it in Russian.
Okay, I'll start in English. So the question is, you said that limitations would be $10,000 per day. Does it include crypto assets like NFTs? So for example, if I trade my land, does it count as this amount will be subtracted from my limit, or only if it's after it converted to USDC?
Vic, would you like to translate the question for everyone else to understand?
Yeah. Вопрос такой, что вот лимит 10 тысяч за транзакцию, если это включается в продажу спейса. Если вы продадите спейс или его обменяете, если это включается в этот лимит за транзакцию или в день.
Cool. So the way we understand it currently is that this limit is not for balances, rather it's for how much you can transact. So as long as you transact items, let's say you sell them or buy them for a total of up to 10,000 a day, 10,000 euros per day, or 100,000 euros total, it would be fine. Above that, unfortunately, at the current time being, we would not be able to accommodate trades in excess of that value.
Sounds good. Oh,
Но
sorry.
ответ на вопрос, что да, если вы продаваете или обменяете space, это должно быть не больше 10 тысяч в день или не больше 100 тысяч полностью. Это решение нам, это не самое идеальное решение, но такие санкции и такие правила.
Sounds good. The next person we're going to be inviting up is Darksider.
Hey, first of all, thank you very much for clarifications and for the actions which you've taken recently. It's really appreciated. The question is, I understand it might sound pretty silly in this current situation, but is there any guarantee that this will not happen in the future?
Вопрос такой.
The question is there any guarantee that this will not happen in the future?
То есть вопрос такой, если мы можем дать гарантию, что такое не случится в будущем.
Cool. So to answer the question, as a regulated US company, such as the one that operates our marketplace, we are subject to any future changes that could be imposed by different countries related to sanctions. So there's no way I can guarantee that this would not reoccur, but about the solution we have been able to find, because even though in theory it's imposing some limits on Russian people, and we think that that's deeply unfair, when we look at our records, none of the existing, I think it's almost 4,000 people from Russia that have used the marketplace have ever exceeded those limits. So while the limits are in place, they retroactively will not have affected anyone. It's a pity that we had to preemptively block all the accounts, and I would very much have preferred that that didn't happen. But moving forward, I'm pretty sure that people will be able to experience the platform without limitations.
Ответ такой, что гарантию мы дать не можем, потому что компания Big Time – это компания американская в США, и нам нужно следить правила государств, которые ставят санкции. То есть мы не можем дать гарантию. Но можем сказать, что когда мы посмотрели на все аккаунты русские, это было там примерно 4000 людей, которые использовали наш рынок, наш marketplace, то все эти лимиты, которые 10 тысяч в день или 100 тысяч все вместе, это бы не влияло ни одного юзера нашего из России. То есть пока мы не можем дать гарантию на будущего, сейчас, которые санкции поставлены были Европейским Союзом, они должны ни одного человека из России повлиять.
Sounds good. Thank you, Vic. The next person we're going to be inviting up is Denisik. As a reminder, guys, if you'd like to speak, you just have to hit that request to speak button on the bottom. Oh, there we go.
Thank you very much for the answer so far, team. That is really appreciated. I just really wanted to ask, so the limit of 10,000 euros per transaction means essentially that everyone that participated in the Exalted space sale, especially for the Exalted Large, I essentially cannot do anything with them, as I think they are now currently exceeding 10,000 euros per space value. So does it mean essentially that at this point of time we can't really sell them unless we are selling them at a huge discount? yeah, that's probably the question that I've got in my mind. Thanks.
Вопрос такой, что потому что сейчас вот это Space Exalted, она стоит больше 10 тысяч, если это значит, что русские пользователи не могут это продавать. Если только могут продать за большой дискаунт, значит меньше 10 тысяч.
Thanks for the question. Yes, so as you say, the value of some items exceed the limit. So at least theoretically, there are only a few ways to go about it. One is to sell them at a discount. Another one is not to sell them and wait until the situation passes. Meanwhile, obviously, you can use the item inside of the game, and anticipate that the vast majority of people are going to be doing that. And finally, we're looking into how we could prioritize the ability for people to withdraw the asset from the platform earlier than planned, so that they could potentially bring it out of the platform and sell it elsewhere at whatever price they seem fit.
Ответ такой, что, значит, да, сейчас вы не можете продать на рынке Exalted Space, но вы можете это использовать в игре, как это должно быть. И у нас сейчас приоритет сделать эту функцию, что вы могли достать из нашего рынка эти NFT и их продать на OpenSea или где угодно, за сколько вы хотите.
Thanks, Vic. We're going to invite up Midnight Dancer.
Hello all. Question. What is the solution you found yesterday, which will allow you to restore Russian accounts? When will it happen? Within a week or month? Thanks.
Вопрос такой, что за решение мы вчера нашли, что нам позволит восстановить все русские аккаунты, и когда это случится? Через неделю, через месяц или когда?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. Should be in the order of a few days, at most a week. We really have not had the time for our developers to be able to determine how long this would take, but in essence, it's just imposing certain limits to the accounts, which is not a major feature. So we're hopeful that within a few days, we're going to be able to reinstate the accounts.
Ответ, что через пару дней или неделю. Мы над этим работаем круглосуточно, и мы это сделаем как можно скорее.
Sounds good. We're going to take Yami up here. And then the last question will be from GGACC.
Hello again. The question is, I just looked through the form for Ruby passes and found a little issue that other people probably might happen to them as well. The thing is, there is a field that requests you to put up your marketplace nickname. But currently, since our accounts are suspended, for example, I myself am unable to recall what is the account name there. I know the email that I used to log in, but
It's okay.
I still
Be as close as you can be.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
the email should be sufficient information.
Email
All
though
right.
will be sufficient. Vic, translate.
Thanks for the answer.
Твой вопрос такой, что сейчас, потому что все русские аккаунты, они блокированы, на анкете для Ruby Pass, для русских комьюнити, там вы не можете поставить свой юзернейм. Ответ такой, что вы можете просто написать свой email, свою электронную почту, которую вы записались на аккаунт, и это будет достаточно, если вы не помните, какое у вас имя юзера.
All right, looks like there's actually no more requests to speak. So I think this is a good opportunity to kind of wrap up this AMA. If nobody has any more questions, thank you all for coming. The form to claim the Ruby Pass will be closing in 30 minutes. So other than that, feel free to stick around in the Discord, ask any questions you have. Thank you guys all for your time today.
Yeah, thanks everyone for your time and your patience over the last few days. We really appreciate your support.
Всем спасибо за поддержку, всем спасибо за терпение. вот эта анкета для Ruby Pass, она закрывается через полчаса. Пожалуйста, ее заполните. И если у вас еще вопросы, вы можете написать в Дискорде, в комьюнити и так далее. Всем спасибо и хорошего выходного.
All right, thank you all. Have a great weekend.